Welcome to Inspirational Slow Flow Yoga. Today, I want you guys to start in a posture that feels soft, inviting, supported. To go along with the message that we're going to have today, we really want to be kind toward ourselves. So find a posture that feels really inviting to you. A couple suggestions: you might want to have like a blanket with the bottom edge curled up to just support the back of the head, create a little neck roll. You might want to bolster a rolled up blanket behind the knees. So you can do something like that, or if you don't have a bolster at home, if you have pillows, something to just support the back of the legs. Let it feel easy and friendly, whatever shape you choose. And if it's something else, like if maybe you want a child's pose or something else that feels really safe and comfortable, please go where you need to go to start this class. If you're on your back, just allow those palms to face upward, relax the shoulders back and down, almost like you're kind of sliding your little scapula toward each other to open into the heart space, shoulders away from the ears. Check in, make sure the chin isn't jutting up toward the ceiling. Keep it nice and neutral and soft so the back of the neck is long, but we're protecting that natural curve. And then let your legs kind of splay open if you're on your back. Let the hips begin to open up, the low back begin to release. And just locate yourself for the moment. There's been a lot going on. And so oftentimes our thoughts are all over the place. We might be physically present, but we're not fully here. So just take a moment to even contact your own body. I'm here, it's Thursday, I'm practicing inspirational slow flow. Just locate yourself in this moment. And as you become aware of your physical presence here in this moment, begin to just scan the body. Notice any areas where there's sensation of some kind. See if you can do that without labeling it as good or bad, without judging it. Just accepting whatever you have brought onto your mat. Checking in with any thoughts that are present, any feelings that are present. Just approaching it with openness, awareness, and acceptance. Begin to notice your breathing. And if you have one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, just notice your natural breath right now. How fast or slow are you breathing? How deep or shallow? Notice if either hand moves as you breathe. And as you make that mind-body connection, begin to slow and deepen your breath. So imagine the breath like a wave coming in, over, and through you. So as you inhale, feel the hand on the chest lift, the rib cage widen, and the belly expand and inflate. As you exhale, soften into the belly, relax the rib cage, feel your hand lower that's on your chest, almost like it's sinking in as you let go of all of the breath. Do a couple more breaths like this, and maybe you add some visualization to this breath. Breathing in peace and calm. Breathing out anything that goes counter to that. I decided to really share about this class today because I think, given what's been happening, we all really need this. The senseless death of George Floyd has brought to the forefront this fact that we're still dealing with systemic racism. People are angry and grieving, and there's a great level of frustration and urgency. In that, we might feel compelled to act in a way that is violent, or in a way that creates force. And so I've really been searching myself because I too have been feeling those feelings. And I've been feeling frustrated saying, what can I do that would make any difference at all right now? And what came to me is the importance of the practice of Ahimsa, nonviolence. So Ahimsa is a Sanskrit word, and it's one of the yamas. So the yamas and the niyamas are guidelines, precepts, or ethical guidelines for right living. By Deborah Adele, she calls them the jewels because they're gems of wisdom that help us to live well-directed lives. And the first yama is Ahimsa. And at first, yeah, nonviolence, right? Sounds like, yeah, we can all wrap our heads around that. But it's really about right relationship with ourselves and other people. It guides us to live together peacefully and not cause harm to ourselves or those around us. It literally means nonviolence in thought, word, or deed toward ourselves or other people, to do no harm. And it starts with us. Richard Freeman said, perhaps a more accurate way of translating Ahimsa is kindness or love, which could be considered the epitome of non-harming. Through yoga, we cultivate the capacity to do no harm to others by offering kindness. It sounds so simple. Kindness and love, the expression of Ahimsa. And so today, let's start to create a container of kindness and love toward ourselves, filling ourselves up with this, experiencing it internally so that we can express it externally. How we treat ourselves is how we treat those around us. Peace within ourselves equates to peace in the world. And we can be the change that we want to see. So as you breathe right now, breathe in love, kindness, peace, creating and cultivating your own peaceful presence. And perhaps you create a bit of an intention around that for this practice. Storms rage around me. I calm my heart and send out ribbons of peace. Peace. So as these storms rage about us, can we calm our hearts? Can we send peace out to a world that desperately needs it right now? Now, if you didn't start on your back, go ahead and come onto your back. And if you have anything underneath the knees, go ahead and just move that out of the way. And just gently bring your feet to the floor, just feeling a sense of groundedness. It's easy to get swept away when these storms rage around us. Can we root ourselves down? Can we ground ourselves? Can we be in the eye of the storm, that place of stillness and peace? There's a quote that I love that says, "Don't let other people pull you into their storm, pull them into your peace." Let us be that safe and peaceful harbor. Begin to draw your right knee in toward your chest. You can interlace the hands just below the knee, or you can bring the hands behind the knee, whatever feels best for you. Just kind of hug and squeeze here. Start to circle the knee around. We're going to start to open into the hip. This is a place where we hold a lot of stress and tension. So we want to just begin to open up here. And then take it in the other direction. Now start to move that knee toward the outside of your rib cage, toward your right armpit. And if you want to, you can bring some movement to the foot and the ankle here. So maybe you circle the foot or point and flex. Staying grounded and steady. Rooted and grounded in love and kindness. Slowly begin to bring the ankle just above your left knee. And then we're going to use our right hand to gently press our thigh away from the body. And then on the inhale, just let it come back toward you. Exhale, gently press it away. Inhale, release it. So we're just gently pressing on the exhales and releasing on the inhale. Good, and the next time you press that knee forward, hold. Keep your foot flexed, it'll help to protect the ankle and the knee, as well as the hip. Bring the arms out to the sides, keeping the legs as they are. On your exhale, allow the knees to go to the right. As you do that, turn the left palm down and maybe even take your gaze to the left. On the inhale, bring those knees back up. The palm will face back up again. On the exhale, let the legs go to the left, turning the right palm down, maybe gazing over your right hand. Inhale, bring those knees back up. Palms both face up. On the exhale, knees go right, left palm turns down. Inhale, knees up, gaze up, palms up. Exhale, legs go left, right palm turns down, gaze right. Inhale, knees up, palms up. We're going to do that one more time each side. Moving with your breath. Connecting, linking our breath and our movement. We want to come out of that space of fear and hypervigilance. Fear is one of the reasons for violence. In fact, some would argue that the absolute cause of violence is fear. When we're in a fearful state and we become hypervigilant, we start to see everything and everyone as a threat, even when they're not. Slowly allow the knees to go to the right, just resting there, taking a nice twist. If you prefer not to have your right ankle resting on that near thigh, you can bring the foot to the floor. You can stack the legs, you can extend the top leg, or even take a hold of the back of the knee. And so we want to come into our parasympathetic nervous system. One of the ways that we can do that is through slow, deep, rhythmic breaths and conscious awareness of what's going on, slowing and deepening our breath to bring calm into the body, into the mind, so that we can switch into the other part of our nervous system. If violence is born of fear, then Ahimsa is actually born of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but it's not letting fear freeze us or keep us from moving forward. Slowly begin to bring those legs back up. Just reorient yourself, excuse me, on your mat and hug those knees in. Let's rock from side to side. Apologize, my voice is a little hoarse. I did a lot of training last week and my voice hasn't fully come back. All right, place that right foot on the floor. We're going to take the left knee in, give it a nice squeeze, and then begin to rotate that knee. Keep breathing as you move. It's interesting, one of the words or definitions of courage is open heart. So Ahimsa is all about living with an open heart. Love and kindness, compassion, empathy. Go in the other direction. And when we think about the fear response in the body, it's fight or flight. So fight being that violence, right? That resistance. Begin to hug your knee in toward your left armpit. And again, you can bring some movement to the foot and ankle. Or flight, hightailing out of there, not wanting to deal with it, turning away from it. Courage stands right in the middle. Standing peacefully. It's these peaceful demonstrators that we've been seeing, standing courageously against systemic racism and injustice. Slowly begin to bring your left ankle just above your right knee with the foot flexed. Take your left hand to the left thigh and begin to press it away from the body. On the inhale, let it come back toward you. Exhale, press. Notice what you're bringing to your mat here. So Ahimsa is the absence of force. So we're going to gently open our body. We're going to use feedback from our body to know what our edge is. Nonviolence toward ourselves in our yoga practice. Gently press into that thigh, encouraging that knee forward. Stay here and breathe. Take those arms out to the sides like wings, palms face up. And gently begin to move the legs. So we're going to take the legs over to the right, turning the left palm down, gaze over your left hand. On the inhale, come back up, palm faces up, gaze up. Exhale, legs go left, right palm turns down, gaze right. Inhale, back to center, palms up, gaze up. Good, keep repeating this pattern, going back and forth. Synchronizing your breath and your movement. Also, there's a little coordination going on here, right? When we're thinking about which hand do I turn down, which way do I look? This is great for challenging the mind, taking us out of our habits. Creating that coordination. There is a time to come out of our habits. It is right now. Looking for our blind spots, looking for those places within us that are not practicing Ahimsa. Allow the knees to go over to the left, coming into a twist. Again, you can adjust your legs if you like or stay here. Keep softening your right shoulder toward the mat, maybe gazing to the right. And breathe. 70% of our toxins leave the body through the breath. The rest through digestion and elimination, and through our sweat, through our skin, which is the biggest organ in our body. But 70% through respiration. So this isn't just about ridding ourselves of physical toxins in the body. Can we get rid of toxic thoughts, toxic beliefs, toxic energies and emotions? Breathe them right out of your body. Creating a container, a safe harbor for Ahimsa to grow and expand within us. Very slowly begin to unravel. Let's draw those knees into the chest. Just rock here from side to side. And then let's go ahead and do some sacral circles. So what we're going to do is take our hands to our knees and then bring the knees around together in a circle. It's like you're tracing your sacrum, that hard triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine. This really helps to loosen up the low back. When we're in that fight or flight state, our jaw will tense and tighten. So notice what's happening with the jaw. Our shoulders lift up toward our ears and round forward. Our hips tense and tighten. Our low back gets tight. So we're going to counter the effects of that on the body. Go in the other direction, both legs. Just tracing your sacrum, giving it a little massage here. Good. And then we're going to squeeze here. Bring the forehead toward the knees, squeezing it out. On the inhale, release that. Let the knees come away from the body. If you want to get bigger with these, you can extend the arms overhead and lengthen the legs. Exhale, squeeze it out. Work to your own level. So if that means just lowering the head and lifting the head, that's fine too. So whatever feels best for your body. Maybe you want to take those big extensions. Maybe you don't. Remember, we're practicing non-violence with ourselves here. Check in. What's your practice like? Is it friendly? Can you bring ease to your practice? Beautiful. Lower back down. Place the feet back on the floor. And then we're going to roll to one side. Pause there for a moment, just resting here. Eddie Hillesum said, ultimately, we have just one moral duty: to reclaim large areas of peace in ourselves, more and more peace, and to reflect it toward others. And the more peace there is in us, the more peace there will also be in our troubled world. Let's begin to come up onto all fours. If you're healing in your knees, go ahead and take a blanket underneath those knees. Good. And then the knees will come directly underneath the hips. Take the hands, fanning them out wide. Index fingers point forward, or they're going to angle toward the front corners of your mat. Good. Make sure there's room for your heart to move. So make sure those hands are wide, about shoulder width or a little wider. Good. And then we're just going to start circling the hips. Nice and easy, gentle movements. Bringing breath in, exhaling it out. And then take it in the other direction. like you're excavating here, getting rid of any tightness, any areas of density, any things that are just keeping you a little stuck. Come back to tabletop and then bring that left knee in just a little bit. We're going to extend the right leg behind us and then lift it up so that your heel is an extension of your spine. Reach the left arm forward if that feels okay for your body. Lift from the underside of your belly, drawing your navel to your spine. And then on the exhale, begin to bring the elbow and the knee together. And if you're just doing a leg, we're just bringing that knee in and extending the leg back out. Draw your navel to your spine all the while. But again, remembering that yoga is a balance of sukha and sthira. That is effort and ease. If we're all effort, we're in a space of force. We're in a space of violence. So bring that steadiness and ease to your practice and to your body. Good. On the inhale, extend and reach. We're going to place the left hand back down on the floor and then swing that foot around over to the left. Take your gaze to the left. We're going to squeeze out the tissue in the lungs on the left here. Also squeezing out our spleen and pancreas. Opening into the right side. By the way, in our lungs, we hold grief. So don't be surprised if you feel a little emotional as we breathe and as we squeeze into this tissue. Let us not be afraid to feel it. That is part of locating ourselves, of presencing ourselves, is allowing ourselves to feel what we feel. Slowly begin to unravel that, and then bring that knee down. We'll extend the left leg back now. Lift it. The heel is now an extension of your spine. Hips are level to the floor. If you'd like to add the arm, reach the bicep by the ear. Draw that navel into your spine, lifting from the underside of the belly. On the exhale, bring the knee in toward the elbow, squeeze it out, or just bring the knee in, and then extend the leg back out. Ease and flow here. Gentle, kind movements. Check in with your breath, link your breath and movements. It's very reassuring for your nervous system. Good, and then we'll go ahead, extend for a moment, float that hand down, bring the foot around to the right. Take your gaze to your foot, squeezing out now into the liver and gallbladder side, opening up the right side. Breathe and let go here. Keep presencing yourself, bringing your peaceful presence to your practice, moment by moment. Beautiful. Slowly unravel that. Bring the knees down. We're going to take the knees wide. If you're healing in your knees, you might want to take another blanket or towel behind the knees just to create a little cushion, or just don't go down as deep. Walk those hands out, stretching the entire body, and bring your forehead toward the mat. Now, if you can't reach the mat with your forehead, you can use a block or a blanket underneath the head, or you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. I don't know who wrote this, but I love it. It says, Ahimsa, Fill your heart with compassion and you will spread love, caring for you, those around and above. Ahimsa teaches nonviolence and gentle living, treating us as thoughtful and always forgiving. Aware of our thoughts and the energy we send, we are all connected from stranger to friend. Find peace of mind within your own heart, the sacred place where Ahimsa will start. Both inward and out, we inspire and grow and support all creatures with this gift we bestow. Be strong with emotion while each time accepting, open to improvement with soulful reflecting. Ask yourself, with these thoughts I am feeling, I am freeing, do I support the growth of every world's being? Slowly begin to come up. We're going to walk our hands forward toward the front of our mat. Keeping those fingers fan wide. Knees are about hip width distance apart with the toes tucked. Bring your chest back, bringing your ears to the insides of your biceps and begin to really press down into the pads of your fingers. Make sure you're not dumping into your wrists though. As you push the mat forward with your hands, engage the core and begin to lift up. Keeping those knees bent for the moment, keep pressing your chest back toward your thighs, open heart here. Hips lifting up and back, and then slowly begin to walk your dog. Know that at any time, if this is too much, you can come into child's pose or back to tabletop, or you can find a half dog or a puppy pose. Bringing that kindness into your being, that friendliness and ease to your practice. Bend into both knees. Keep pressing the chest back. And then slowly walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Keep your knees deeply bent with your belly and ribcage pressing to your thighs. Now, if the floor feels far away and you have blocks available, you can always use a block underneath your head for your hands. Otherwise, just let the crown hang. Shaking your head no. That which you do not want to see in yourself or others. Shaking your head yes to embodying Ahimsa. On the inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lift halfway for length. On the exhale, round it out. Inhale, sweep high, come all the way up to standing. Reaching through those fingertips, lengthen the body here. Maybe add a little back bend feature by pressing into the feet, engaging the legs and pressing the hips forward, arching the spine. On the exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. On the inhale, sweep, arms lift. Exhale, swan dive, bend those knees, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Hands are going to be on the floor or on blocks. And then pick the right leg up. Extend it behind you or keep it bent. On the exhale, bring that right knee in, tuck and round. You could also bring it behind your left knee and sink down. Inhale, extend it straight back. Exhale, bring that knee in, squeeze here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze it in. Flowing with your breath here. Inhale, extend it back. Beautiful. We're going to float that foot all the way down to the floor behind us into a low runner's lunge. So bring the hands to blocks if you like, or to the floor. Beautiful. And then just take a moment, letting that right hip begin to sink down and forward. Check that your left knee is stacking right over your left ankle, not in front of your toes. Beautiful. And then we're going to just start rocking back and forth. So exhaling, folding over that leg into pyramid. Inhale, sliding back into that runner's lunge. Now you can also do this with the right knee on the floor. So coming back into a lunge here with the knee on the ground and then folding over the leg into a low pyramid. So just keep breathing. Be where you want to be. This is your practice. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, coming forward. Now we're going to add a little twist. So press into the right hand. Bring your left hand to your left thigh. And then begin to rotate your torso to the left. Maybe you also reach that left hand up. Make a big circle of love around the world. Big circle of Ahimsa. Remember, we calm our heart and we send out ribbons of peace. And then take it in the other direction. Release that hand back to the floor. And then we're gonna we're gonna pivot our back foot. Let's do this first. Bring the left hand to the inside of your left foot, or bring your forearm to your thigh. Your left knee is tracking with your left foot, so check in on that. Back foot is essentially parallel with the back of your mat. Okay, and we're opening these hips. We're gonna start orienting our chest and our hips to the right. Reach that hand up. Beautiful. And then on the inhale, let's come up to warrior two. Left hand forward, right hand back. Shoulders back and down. We can be warriors for Ahimsa. We can be peaceful warriors. So we're going to take peaceful warrior pose. Bend into your left elbow, bring your hand up toward your face. And then we're going to gaze over our right hand. So we're standing firmly with our peaceful presence, but non-violently. Hold this peaceful warrior, breathe into the shape, feel it. Strong and peaceful. Straighten into your left hand. Windmill your hands all the way down to the ground, coming onto the ball of that back foot. And then we'll slowly step our front foot back to a down dog. Breathe here. Good, bend into both knees and then step your feet forward to the front of your mat. I'm gonna switch sides here. Beautiful. On the inhale, sweep high, ride that breath all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Check back in, grounded and rooted in love and peace. What is your foundation? Let it be solid, firm. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Maybe finding a little back bend here, stretching the front side of the body and into the psoas muscle. Exhale, forward fold bow. Good. Hands are going to come to the blocks or to the floor. Ground down into the right foot and take the left foot behind you. On the exhale, bring the left knee in, tuck and round. You can also bring it behind your right knee and bend your right knee if you want to go lower. Inhale, extend it back and lengthen. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, take it back. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Float that foot all the way back behind you, a wide stance here into a low runner's lunge. Hands can be on blocks or on the floor. Take a moment, check in. That right knee is tracking with your right foot. Left hip is starting to sculpt forward and down. Just sink into that, breathe. Check in with your jaw. Loosen the jaw. You can breathe through parted teeth or an open mouth. Shoulders away from those ears. And then we're going to just start rocking back and forth. Exhaling into pyramid. Inhaling back into that runner's lunge. Again, you can have that left knee on the ground and then fold over that leg and then come back. Just honor your body wherever you're at. One side might be different. You might want to do something different on this side than you did on the other. That's okay. Next time you come back into that runner's lunge, we're going to place the left hand directly underneath that left shoulder. Take your right hand to your right thigh and begin to rotate your torso to the right. Reach that right hand high. And then again, start to draw just a big circle of love and peace around the world. Send your intention out. It makes a difference. It's like a little drip of water with a ripple effect. Take it in the other direction. It affects the people in our immediate circle, and then they affect people, and so on and so on. Beautiful. Float that hand down. Pivot your back foot. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. And then we're going to slowly come to bring the forearm to the thigh. Orient your torso to the left, keeping that hip nice and open. So check in with your back foot. It should be parallel with the back of your mat. And then take the left hand high. Reach up here, open up. Stretching ourselves. Exhale, come up to warrior two, right hand forward, left hand back, shoulders back and down. Front knee is tracking with that front foot, check in. Good. Find the strength of this warrior pose, and then let's bring peaceful warrior to it. Bend into your front elbow, hand is facing you, and then take your gaze over your back hand. Breathe here. A warrior for peace, a warrior for unity, a warrior for justice, a warrior for love. The golden rule permeates. It is the highest truth of all. Love your neighbor as yourself. Extend that arm out, bring your hands to your hips, and then we're going to pivot to come into a wide open A shape. Toes will point forward or they'll angle in slightly, and then press into your hip bone, slide your seat back as you hinge forward here. Bring your hands down. Again, you can use a block here if the floor feels far away. Let the head hang. Tail is sliding up, shoulders away from those ears. Breathe. Just let go here. Begin to walk your hands over to the left, folding over your left leg. You can wrap your hands around that leg if you like. So in Deborah Adele's Yamas and Niyamas book, she says, nonviolence may appear to us like Mr. Miyagi first appeared to Daniel. It can look so passive and unimportant that we can easily ignore its presence and the subtleties of its power, wondering what the fuss is all about. And yet, in Eastern thought, nonviolence is so valued that it stands at the very core and foundation of all yoga philosophy and practice. It is as if the yogis are saying, if we don't ground our lives in actions of nonviolence, everything else we attempt will be precarious. All of our achievements and successes, hopes and joys stand on faulty ground if they do not stand on the foundation built by nonviolence. Slowly come up, and we're going to walk over to the other side. Folding here, breathe. Check in with your breath. Let go. Good, and then come back to the center. Toe heel your feet together, and then bring the legs together too. And then we're going to slowly lower down. So only come where it feels safe for you. But if it's available, see if you can bring your tail toward your heels. And then maybe you can begin to balance here. Hugging the thighs together, pressing the hands toward each other. Ahimsa is a balance. It's a balancing act. It actually is about balance and harmony. When we can find that within ourselves, we're practicing ahimsa. Because the joining of opposites heals all opposites. Slowly bring your seat back down. And then we'll go ahead and extend the legs out in front of us for a moment. Now, if you'd like to elevate the seat, you can take a blanket rolled up and bring the edge of your seat to the edge of that blanket. Beautiful. If you need to take a bend in those knees, please do so. You could also place blocks behind the knees to give them a little bend if your hamstrings are tight. Toes point up. Nice long straight spine. You're stacking over shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Good. Leading with the heart. We should always lead with the heart. Hinging forward. Keep those shoulders back and down. Maybe you start to walk your hands toward your feet. Folding out over those legs. Release your head. And where's your breath? Deborah Adele says, when we are in balance, we automatically live in nonviolence. When we are in balance, we automatically live in nonviolence. Find that balance of effort and ease. Slowly begin to walk your hands back toward you. We're going to bend into the right knee, bring the foot to the floor. You could also cross the leg over if you like. But sit up nice and tall here. Shoulders away from those ears, heart open. And then we're going to bring our left hand to the outside of that leg. You could also bring the elbow around if that feels better and take a hold of your wrist. Lengthen the spine first, and then begin to rotate your torso to the left. Bring that left shoulder back and down. Breathe here. Connect with that place in your belly, that fire in your belly. That's our place of presence. It's our seat of presence. It's also the seat of our will, our power, and sense of empowerment. But what's interesting is that if we will something, we're bringing force to it. We're bringing violence to it. Instead, can we just be willing? Anything can happen with a willing heart. We don't have to know how. We don't have to know what we need to do. We just need to be willing. And that is the practice of ahimsa. So they begin to unravel that twist. And then we're just going to switch legs. Right foot out, left foot in. Again, you can cross it if you like. Just make sure you feel balanced. You're not leaning. Sit up nice and tall, and you can take a hold of that leg with your right hand, or you can wrap the elbow around. Maybe take a hold of the wrist, lengthen the spine first, and then begin to rotate your torso. With every breath, imagine lengthening a little bit more. With every exhale, just allowing the breath to take you deeper without forcing. Keep that heart open. Slowly unravel that twist. Bend into both knees, and then just bring yourself back down onto your back. Set yourself up for your final rest position. So whatever that needs to be. Maybe you want to support the back of the head, the back of the knees. Maybe you want to elevate the legs or bring a bolster behind them. Maybe you just want to feel completely grounded on your mat. Make sure your entire body is relaxed. All the points that are touching the floor, just imagine they're like growing roots. Shoulders drop back and down. Back of the neck is long. So maybe even bring your chin and lengthen the back of the neck, and then bring the head back down. Maybe let your feet splay open. Check in with your breath. Find a nice, slow, deep, rhythmic breath here. We're going to do a few rounds of the letting go breath. And so as you inhale through the nose and fill up into the lungs, take that right into an open mouth exhale. Maybe you make some noise here. The sound of the heart is ah. But maybe it's just a guttural, like let go of the stuff that you're feeling. Allow it and assist it to leave your body. Tears come, let them flow. Be with yourself here with kindness, compassion, self-love. Peace within oneself equates to peace within the world. Find your peaceful presence. And just sink into the silence for the next few moments. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Be gentle and kind, slowly awakening the body. Maybe turn your head from side to side, slow awakening. Draw your knees toward your chest. Rock a few times side to side until you find yourself on one side. When you do, just pause there for a few breaths in a fetal position. Noting how different you feel now after presencing and inviting this Ahimsa into every neuron, every muscle fiber, every cell. As you're ready, gently supporting yourself, bring your body up to a seated position, grounding down, lengthening the spine. Bring your hands to your heart center and bow your head to your heart. Storms rage about me. I calm my heart and I send out ribbons of peace. Peace. So as you calm your heart, breathe in peace. And then we're going to open our hands and blow it out to the world. Let's do that 2 more times. Hands to heart center, breathe in. Exhale, open the palms. Offer the world your peace. 1 more time. And blow. Bring your hands back to heart center. The one who is practicing nonviolence in me sees and honors the one who is practicing nonviolence in you. Namaste.